Okay, we're on Shabbat, Perek, Chaf Daled, Mishnah Bet, second Mishnah in the 24th and final chapter of Masechet Shabbat. In our Mishnah, we're going to talk about things you can and can't do when you're feeding your animals on Shabbat. Says the Mishnah, Matirin Pki'e Amir Lifnei Behema. Pki'e Amir, the Bartidura said, are Kashim Shel Shibolim She'ogdam. Shibolim She'ogdam, they're bundles of straw, that are tied together. So therefore, matirinotam. So you're allowed to untie, bundles of shibalim, of stalks, in front of your animal. So if you have, the problem was like this: they would save the bundles of stalks and they would tie them up into bundles. Okay, but then if you wanted to feed the animal wouldn't eat it if it was still tied up. So you had to untie it. Okay, umefasfesin eta kefin. Kefin are, let's look here for a second. The Bartunurik. Kefim are anafim lachim shel erez. Cedar tree branches, okay, so they're the anafim, they're the leaves of cedar. Okay, so what can you do? Mifasfesin, mifazrin, v'shotchinotam. You spread them out, you just spread them out in front of the animal. Lifnei behema, in front of the animal. Shetariach rechan. It will smell their smell. Debelav pisfus, without spreading it in front of the animal, lo havi uchla. The animal's not going to eat it. So, let's go back and understand. The Mishnah says, you're allowed to mativ'in piki'e amir lifnei behema. You're allowed to untie the bundles of stalks in front of the animal, and you are allowed to spread out the kefin. But the Bartanura adds on, okay, you're allowed to spread them, untie them. Aval pispus, spreading out the amir, the stalks, lefazran gederach shirigilin lefazer asavim lebehema, asur bepiki'e amir. You're not allowed to do that for piki'e. That's hard to say. Piki'e amir. Before the stalks, the untied stalks. Why? Once they're food, by untying the stalks, you want to get the animal to eat more. It's a tircha. Mitra means a tircha. You're going to exert energy and effort in something that's already ochel. Lo tarchina. So let's look. I made you a little chart. I do that sometimes. So the Mishnah says, so let's look at the following. If I have, the Bartanura says, Piki'e amir, which is agudot shibalim, which are stalks that are tied up, hakshurim im shnei ksharim, that are tied up with two. So I can heter matirin, I can untie it. But the Bartanura says, I cannot be mefasfes, I can't spread it out. Why? Because it's already ochel, and it's a tircha, v'zeh tircha yetera. But kipin, which are the leaves, they're not tied up, so that's not relevant. But I'm allowed to spread them out because I have to make it so that the animal will want to eat it. The Mishnah continues. Okay? Aval, so it says, mifasfesin eta kefin. I'm allowed to spread out the kefin, remember, are the leaves. Avalo eta zeirin. What is zeirin? Let's look at the Bartanura again. Zeirin are piki'e amir. They are the bundles. Ela hapiki'in yesh lehem shnei ksharim. But the piki'in have two ties. Echad b'roshan ve'echad b'sofan. One at the top and one at the bottom. Hazeirin, but these zeirin yesh lehem shlosha ksharim. So they had a tie, kesher b'chad yater be'emsa, one tie in the middle. They would do 1, 2, 3, the stalk, and they would tie the top, the middle, and the bottom. Okay? And the Mishnah says, she'ein mifasfesin et hazeirin. These zeirin also, they're tied tighter. So you're not allowed to spread them out. Even though they're compressed one to the other, nonetheless, ela matir shlosha agdehem, you're allowed to untie them. Why? Dehatarat agdehem mashvilehem ochla. Let's go back to my chart. This zeirin, the zeirin is the same thing. It's the same kind of stalk. Here we go. I tried to find a picture of a bundle tied up. So here they're only tied up once. For whatever reason, they would tie them up either twice, once at the top and once at the bottom, or 3 times, top, middle, and bottom. I guess they stored better. They had less, infestation or what have you. Nonetheless, so we learned from our Mishnah that Piki'e amir you can untie. The same thing of the zeirin. You can untie them, but you cannot spread them out, because that's, again, tircha yetera, because once you untie them, they're food. Even though they're tied stronger together, nonetheless, the animal's still going to eat them. Let's continue. Ein meraskin lo et shachat. You're not allowed to, lerasek means to crush up. Shachat is unripened, not totally ripened grain. V'lo et charuvin, nor carobs, ifnei behema. Ben daka, ben gasar. Where the animal is a small animal, that's a behema daka, or ben gasar. The animal is a large animal. Why? Because the animal will eat. It'll eat the grain. It will eat the charuvim. It will eat the carobs. It might be harder for them. So the farmer generally would want to crush them up in order to make the animal eat better. But on Shabbat, you're not allowed to. Again, that's a tircha. Rabbi Yehuda matir becharuvin ledakar. Rabbi Yehuda says that the small animals, the goats, the sheep, they wouldn't eat to be able to eat the whole carobs by themselves. So therefore, he felt that you were allowed to crush up charuvin, but we don't paskin like him. So do not crush up charuvin in front of your small animals on Shabbat. We'll stop here as always. If you have any comments or questions, email me at arspoter@gmail.com, and we'll dedicate the learning, as we always do, to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.